Hi there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelby and today I'm going to be doing my February book haul of 2019. I did way better this month and bought a lot less books. I was supposed to get a book outlet order a few days ago and it hasn't arrived yet, so I'll just do a separate video for that. But this will include any pre-orders I did, any random books I bought, and then I did go to Half Price Books with my husband a couple weeks ago and they were having a really good President's Day sale, which was awesome. I did just find out that our more local Half Price Books is closing, which is so sad that all online book sellers are kind of forcing independent or small chains to not have as many stores. So that's kind of a bummer. But anyway, I will just show you guys all of the books and I will link as many as I can down below. So the first things I'll show you are my pre-ordered books, which I thought I had more, but I guess not. One of them is actually from January that I forgot to show you guys, and that is The Wartime Sisters, a novel by Linda Cohen-Loigman. And this, I believe, is a World War II fiction. And I can't really remember exactly what it's about, but it's a pretty short book. And it's about two sisters named Ruth and Millie. And it is about World War II. And Ruth's husband is a scientist and she's relocating for the war. And I'm guessing that the war brings them back together. I'm not exactly sure. But I heard it is not as much about like the war, but more about the relationship between these two sisters. So I'm really excited to read this one. And then I pre-ordered California Girls by Susan Mallory. I still haven't read anything by her, but I had to read it because I'm from California. And I believe it takes place in LA. Something about TV. It says, the California sunshine's not quite so bright for three sisters who get dumped in the same week. So that sounds really good. Some kind of women's fiction. I'm guessing these are the three sisters right here. And then this one I have read, and it is The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. And this is a military romance about two guys that are friends in the military. One of them dies and asks his best friend to go take care of his sister. And this one was a super tearjerker. I really enjoyed this story, and I love the texture of this book. But yeah, I loved this book, and so I was really happy to get a copy myself. I had read an e-arc, but I had already pre-ordered it, so now I have a copy for my shelves. And then this is one that I already read. It's The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. And this one I loved, gave it 5 stars. It is about a woman who murders her husband and then goes mute afterward. And then it's about a guy who's a psychotherapist who is obsessed with getting her to talk and takes a job at her psych ward. And it clearly does not go very well. So this one was really good. I'm really glad I read it this past month. It's a really kind of short read as well. And then now for a few random buys. I purchased from Amazon The Wife by Ala Fairberg, I think is how you say their name. And I did read this one already. Unfortunately, it came kind of damaged, but I did purchase a new copy. But I did read this one already, and it is about a woman who she's married and already has a son when she gets married, and her husband now 6 or 7 years later is accused of rape and accused of sexual assault. So how she deals with that, and this is like a suspense kind of novel. It was really good as well. And then let's see here, I got 2 Lucy Diamond books from Book Depository. Haven't read anything by her before. These are the only ones I have. The first one is The Secrets of Happiness, and it's just like a chick lit book. It says, everyone thought Rachel had it all. Appearances can be deceptive. So I'm guessing that Rachel, her life is not going as good as she wanted. But I've heard really great things about this from Lisa Books and Smiles. She mentioned it. And then this one is called The House of New Beginnings. And it says One Life-Changing Summer. So not exactly sure what this one's about, but thought it looked really cute. They both got decently rated on Goodreads. And it says, in an elegant Regency house near the Brighton seafront, 3 tenants have more in common than they know. So sounds really good and pretty cute and light. And then I got a book as well that I had already read an e-arc of, and that is I Know You by Annabelle Cantaria. And this is about a woman who befriends another woman in a walking group in the park, and you know, something bad happens to that woman and they think someone's stalking them, and they kind of get really intertwined in each other's lives. So this one was really good as well. I think I gave it like 4 stars or something. And then now on to half price books. I got quite a few, like I said, because they were having a great sale. So one of them I got is Sisterhood Everlasting by Anne Brashares. And I read the Sisters of the Traveling Pants series, and I did already read this one years ago. But somehow I had left it somewhere in a move or something, and so I didn't have it anymore, and it was on like super sale for just a couple of dollars. And so I'd love to reread it at some point, because this is like that whole cast of characters but years later as adults rather than a YA novel, and I found this one to be really good back in the day. And then I've heard nothing but great things about this one. It is a romance book called A Pound of Flesh by Sophie Jackson, and I believe this is a series. And this is about a woman who I believe is a teacher at a prison, and she falls in love with one of the inmates once he gets out of prison, I believe. And I just heard great things, so I can't wait to read this one as well. And then this is one of the only ones I don't really know what it's about. It's called Bring Her Home by David Bell. I know it's a thriller, and it had really good ratings from some of my friends on Goodreads, but the cover really attracted me. And it says, in the breathtaking new thriller from David Bell, best-selling author of Since She Went Away and Somebody I Used to Know, the fate of 2 missing teenage girls becomes a father's worst nightmare. So that sounds amazing. I love like thrillers and mysteries, so can't wait to read that one as well. And then these ones are more historical fiction that I heard about from Sarah's Nightstand. So this one is Snowflower and the Secret Fan by Lisa C. And this is a beautiful edition. It has deckled edges. I thought the pink was really pretty. And this is about 2 friends that grow up in China, and they write like messages to each other on their fans that no one else can read but them. And I believe like bad things happen to them in their upbringing, and I heard this one is a pretty emotional read. So I am looking forward to this, but I'm keeping in mind that it probably is going to be a little heavy. And then another one she recommended is The Life She Was Given by Ellen Marie Wiseman, also a pretty edition with deckled edges. So this is taking place a while ago. I'm not sure when it takes place, but it is about this family who has a child who's born albino, and because at that time they didn't really know that it was a condition, they thought something was wrong with her. They sold her to the circus, and I think she had a pretty rough upbringing in the circus, and it's kind of about the life that she was given in the circus. So I'm looking forward to it, but I believe that it's also going to be a pretty emotional read. And then I have Without Merit by Colleen Hoover. They had a ton of copies of these, and it looks new, but they're really affordable. And this is a YA novel. I don't know what it's about, but I love Colleen Hoover. I haven't read any YA by her, but I've heard decent things about it. I wasn't going to pick it up ever, but because it was a really good deal, I figured I might as well and give it a try. And then I have The Perfect Mother by Amy Malloy. I already read this one, and this is about a woman who is pregnant. She joins a mother's group for other mothers in her town that are having a baby the same month as her, and once the babies are born, they get together. Well, one night they decide to go out drinking and leaving the babies behind with their husbands. Well, one of the mothers isn't married, she's single, not dating anyone, so they hire a babysitter for her, and the baby goes missing. So they're trying to figure out, did she do it? Who did it? Did the nanny do it? So this is basically a nightmare, your baby going missing. I did really like this one. I think I gave it like 4 stars or something. And then this one, I don't know anything about it. It's called The Flight Attendant by Chris Bohjalian. And this one is a thriller as well, as most of these I got are. It got pretty good ratings from my friends on Goodreads, and I think it came out within the last year or so. And it says, Cassandra Bowden is no stranger to hungover mornings. She's a binge drinker, her job with the airline making it easy to find adventure, and the occasional blackouts seem to be inevitable. She lives with them and with the accompanying self-loathing. When she awakens in a Dubai hotel room, she tries to piece the previous night back together, already counting the minutes until she has to catch her crew shuttle to the airport. She quietly turns over in bed, careful not to aggravate her already pounding headache, and looks at the man with whom she spent the night. She sees his dark hair, his utter stillness, and blood, a slick, still wet pool on the sheets. Well, that sounds pretty interesting. So she had a one-night stand, someone dies, and did she do it or not? So she doesn't remember because she's an alcoholic. So this sounds really good, and I'm going to be reading it this month because I'm getting an e-copy off the library, and it's actually checked out right now, so I'm going to be reading this one soon. And then this one I got because I heard April from Getting Hygge with It mention it, and it is Everything You Want Me to Be by Mindy Mejia. And I thought this copy was really pretty. And I know it's a thriller. I can't remember what it's about. It says, Hattie Hoffman has spent her whole life playing many parts. The good student, the good daughter, the good girlfriend. But Hattie wants something more, something bigger, and ultimately something that turns out to be exceedingly dangerous. When she's found brutally stabbed to death, the tragedy rips right through the fabric of her small town community. Evocative and razor sharp, Everything You Want Me to Be tests the line between innocence and culpability, identity and deception. Does love lead to self-discovery or destruction? So that sounds really good. It's not too long, so looking forward to this one. And then I got another B.A. Paris book. I have two others and I've read one. So I really need to get caught up, but this is B.A. Paris's newest, and I know that B.A. Paris is maybe coming out with one next year, and it's called Bring Me Back. Again, no idea what it's about, but it's a thriller, and generally I like to go into thrillers and mysteries a little bit blind, just because I don't want to know the whole plot line. But it says, she went missing, he moved on, a whole world of secrets remained until now. So that sounds really good. I liked Behind Closed Doors. I thought it was okay. So I'm hoping I like this one more. And then the last book I have to talk about is The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney. I've seen a few of my friends on Goodreads also mention this one. The reason too I got it is I requested and I got approved for an ARC for, I think it's called The Perfect Wife, and it is J.P. Delaney's newest book coming out this summer, later this summer. So I wanted to read this one first. And this takes place two different timelines, two different women, and each woman rents the same house from this really odd architect. It's a really minimalist house, and to live in the house you have to abide by hundreds of rules. And both these women rent the same home, and you know that one of the women has died in that home, and the architect formed a sexual relationship with both of them, and you're kind of wondering what's going to happen to the second woman. Is she going to get hurt as well, and does the architect have anything to do with it? So I did read this one and I found it pretty good. I hope that J.P. Delaney's next book is better, because I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like a favorite. But I did like J.P. Delaney's writing, and I thought the topic was really interesting. So those are all the books I had to talk about. I will make a separate video when I end up getting that book outlet order. It's a pretty small order. I couldn't help myself always. But like I said, I'll try to link as many of these down below. Let me know what you guys have read out of these and what you guys picked up this last month, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye.